One Punisher.
Live to fight another day.
What are you waiting for? It's so irritating.
Whoa, I have no idea what that notice is, but I'm going to disagree. Hello, you're getting it. Hello, internet. That was odd timing. All right, let's go ahead and take a observer seat. Had a couple of technical difficulties kicking this thing off. Once again, people that are registering are not checking in, so if you continue to do that, you will be essentially blacklisted from future events. So make sure that if you do register, you are actually able to make the event. You can always use the unregister command if if circumstances change for whatever reason. So we do have 8 that have checked in though. So we're going to be competing today with Fastlock, Warrior, Dapley, CeeLo, Leviathan, Sergi, Alos, and Soul. So we're just waiting on 3 more to join the room. So let me work out the 3 that we are waiting on. So we have Soul, CeeLo, Dapley, Alos, and Warrior. So I'm waiting on Leviathan, Fastlock, and who's the other one? Sergi. So just going to see if I can send them a message. Get everyone in game, and then we can kick things off. If only it was simple. If everyone just turned up on time and it was seamless. Everyone checked in and we were good to go. Unfortunately, it's never that simple. So actually, I can send a Leviathan. Leviathan is apparently in my friends list, so I can send him an invite directly. So we're just waiting on Fastlock and Sergi. There's Sergi, so just Fastlock at this stage. Fastlock is typing something out in Discord, so we will have our 8th and final member very shortly, and then we can kick things off. Ayush, you did not check in. You need to have checked in prior to the tournament kicking off. If you don't follow the tournament instructions, you aren't eligible to compete. So there we go. We have all competitors. So now we are kicking off the game. This is round 1, the turbo match. So we're kicking in here. Nathan, welcome to the stream. Nathan says, really enjoy your content. You're going to get big someday. I really appreciate that, mate. I just do it because I enjoy it. And I'm glad that you enjoy the content. So we have our 8. Good luck to all the competitors. May the shop give you what your hearts desire. Dapley is reigning champion 3 times running. So this is going to be interesting to see whether Dapley can go back to back to back to back. We will find out very, very soon in the next hour or so as we kick things off. So we are on Warriors board at this point in time, but we're just going to bring up the overview and see what people start to buy. A few early ice tusks. Still taking a while to get used to all the new icons. That's Bangar there. Some of the icons are self-explanatory. Some of them are a little bit less so. I think that's Famine. It is. With the bow and arrow there. So it looks like everyone is sorting themselves out. Good morning, Alos. Good luck. So nothing that exciting in round 1. Everyone should be competing and obviously beating the creeps pretty early. Ayush, the times did not change. The times, I can't actually change the times. There's no way for me to change the times. Once the tournament starts, or once the lobby is open, which they were open a couple of days ago, the times are locked in. Then it becomes on you as a registrant to make sure that you turn up on time. If you don't turn up on time, you lose your place. That's how it works. So you actually need to turn, as there is a timer function in the lobby which you can use to work out exactly how long it is. And if you use that and if you read through the instructions, you'll realize you have to be here prior to the start of the tournament so you can actually check in. I can only run the tournament with people that have checked in. I'm a little bit restricted in terms of what I can and can't do by the tool that I use to reward the prizes and to track scores and things like that. So the system that is set up is there to be followed. And it needs to be followed, otherwise I won't be able to run the tournaments, and I want to be able to run tournaments. It's awesome to be able to do this, to be able to give away prizes on behalf of BlueStacks, but we do need to use their tool and follow their restrictions therefore. So make sure you're using the timer command and you're on top of when all of the tournaments are kicking off and how early you need to be there to check in. Now, we have our first PvP round. Sergi, Alos, and Leviathan have all leveled to 5. Dapley's going to 5 now as well. Warrior, CeeLo, Fastlock, and Soul still hanging back on level 4, and that might hurt Warrior on this particular board. But look at Warrior's bench. He is setting himself up for a significant transition, or a bit of flexibility, I should say. So he can kind of go any which way from here on out, depending on what the next few shops offer him. Will the early Cyborg Engineer be enough to carry him through up against a 2-star? It's unlikely. So he does lose that round. So we have our initial set of winners and losers, which doesn't mean a whole lot at this stage. Now let's track what's going on with the updates. So I imagine everyone will now be going to level 5. There's Warrior going to level 5. So CeeLo is the last remaining player on level 4. And I think that's a misplay, to be honest. He's got the crystals to do it. I think in Turbo that is a misplay. There we go. CeeLo goes up to 5, gets another rider in. So everyone level 5, and we have our second PvP round. So let's watch Alos's board against Sergi. See if one of them loses here. They're both undefeated, so unless it turns out to be a draw, which would be pretty unlikely, one of them will take their first loss. And it is going to be Sergi by the looks of it. Alos stays alive there. Dapley is also undefeated and continues to remain so, as does Soul at this stage. So we still have 3 that haven't taken any damage just yet. Leviathan up to level 6 now. Sergi follows suit. as does a loss. This is pretty typical turbo strategy here. Aggressive early leveling. Leviathan's actually gone up to 7. Dapley's gone up to 7 as well. So that is, if you're not finding pieces to fill your bench with at this stage, then spend it on leveling. Absolutely. So this will be quite interesting. Everyone now 6 or 7. We will continue to watch a loss for now. Remains undefeated. Who is he matched up against? Dapley. So another undefeated matchup here. One will lose some health this time around. Alson, welcome to the stream. Nathan, do you think in future there is going to be professional chess rush tournaments? That would be amazing if the game gets big enough. That's the big if. There are quite a few auto battlers out there, and I'm not sure that chess rush is the biggest, maybe not even the biggest 2 just yet. So it looks like a loss. He's going to be taking his first loss here. Dapley going to come out with the win. And looks like 3, maybe 4 heroes survive. So that's going to be a fair chunk of damage at this stage too. 8 damage at round 5. We're up to round 6 now, the PvP round. Alson is backing a warrior, fellow guild member. I'm also a guild member with Warrior and Dapley in the tournament at the moment, but it's obviously open to anyone, not just people that are in my guild. So who else is undefeated at this stage? Just Dapley and Soul. So let's watch Dapley's board for a little while. Theoretically, everyone should remain undefeated through the bear round. Now, Dapley has actually gone all in on 2-starring a couple of heroes here, which has left him 1 space short on the board. Currently level 7, but only has 6 heroes out. That shouldn't be an issue at this stage, as it is just a creep round. We can see that he's picked up a Forbidden Tome there. It is nice. The new observer seat means you can actually check in on their stores or their shops and their chest there as well. So let's have a look at what is in. Oh, he picks up the Flame Caller. I'm not surprised. That is a very solid early unit. And an early refresh as well. An early couple of refreshes. I think he's just spending excess mana here. Although he has gone under. He's looking for another 2-star. Oh, he finds a General of War as well. That's going to be really, really big. There's a Guru. But he did just spend a ton in that shop. So he has blown up his economy to do that. But, hey, he has won the past 3 tournaments straight. So who am I to question his strategy? It's clearly working. I'm typically one that likes to hold off till getting to level 9 before I roll in the shop, but different circumstances call for different approaches. And the 2 key humans that he picked up there are going to be really useful. I think he was, actually now that I look at the combos, I think he was looking for that 6th human, which ended up being the General of War. So that was quite key in finding that, because it does give him that 6 warrior combo. So he beats up on Fastlock there and deals a ton of damage. So it is just Dapley remaining undefeated at this stage. Fastlock now down to 33 health. Sergi on 38, Warrior on 39, and the rest on 40 or above. Let's have another quick overview here. How are combos coming together? 4 people running Warriors, 3 running Assassin, and 2 running Riders at this stage. So a little bit of competition for the Warriors, but not so much for Assassins this time around. It'll be interesting to see if people are finding their sword dances yet too. I will check in on that shortly. So this is going to be a warrior matchup. Fastlock versus Leviathan. Who's going to come out top on this one? It looks like Leviathan might overrun Fastlock unless he can turn things around, and I don't see it happening. The Assassin's in the back, the Warriors in the front. It's going to be another big chunk of damage. Unfortunately, Fastlock goes down to 24. Let's check in on Dapley. He remains undefeated with his 6 warrior, 3 human, 2 beast, 1 demon build. Do we see any sword dancers currently in lineups? Not yet. So the only elites at this point in time, Dapley has himself an executioner and a General of War, which is amazing. Leviathan also with an executioner. And everyone else still searching for that elite. Min, welcome to the stream. Kraken now on the bench for Dapley as well. I wonder if, looking at the pieces that he's got out, it may be worth subbing in that two-star Bangar for the 1-star Glutton there. He doesn't have the undead combo, so I think getting a couple of Furries out and another 2-star would maybe be the better play. But either way, he's looking very, very strong. And this is a tough matchup for Fastlock. This is the exact person that Fastlock wanted to avoid. Definitely putting up a battle though, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That Nether Prince in the back with the getting silenced. The 2-star Hog Rider isn't going to get it done as the massive General of War ability comes through and deals another 8 damage to Fastlock. So Fastlock very much in trouble now. Round 10, we're at the Harpies. We have some more elites. Warriors found himself a General of War. Dapley has now also found a Berserker. That is crazy good luck for Dapley. At this point in time, Dapley is the out-and-out favourite. In fact, he's selling off his 2 stars. He got rid of Bangar and Ice Tuskers. He now has the end-game warriors that he wants. So he's sold off Ice Tusk, he's sold off Bangar, and General Puffer. I think you would keep Wukong over General Puffer unless he wanted the magic resist with Kraken. So he'll maybe have some options there. I'm not sure what he'll end up doing there, but he is looking in a very strong position at this point in time. Gets himself a cloak and a tome and some armor, so a few items there. I think he just unequipped that greatsword from someone. Getting himself quite a few items. So next PvP round, how are people looking towards their max combos? Soul has 6 assassins now. Leviathan and Warrior still on 3 assassins, but Leviathan does actually have 6 Warrior. Alos and Fastlock still looking for their endgame comps. CeeLo and Sergi both running 4 Riders, 3 Hunters, which are quite strong. They're probably going to be looking for either 6 Riders or 6 Hunters to complete their builds. So let's now check in on Fastlock. 3 Hunter, 2 Warlock, 2 Rider, 2 Goblin, 2 Beast, and a Demon. Plenty of 2-star heroes. Will it be enough? Will it be enough to survive at this stage against Leviathan with 6 Warriors and 3 Assassins? I think once again it's going to be a pretty tough matchup to overcome. And hopefully this doesn't eliminate Fastlock, because Fastlock does have 42 crystals, so he wants to start spending those before he... to remain alive. You'd hate to get eliminated. 10 health now, 8 health now. You'd hate to get eliminated with that many crystals in the bank. So Fastlock definitely needs to go on a spending spree. Try and 2-star some of those bench heroes and maybe level to 9 as well. Over 50 crystals now. So definitely needs to basically go all in on crystals at this stage. Prioritize staying alive. You can't play for an end game if you're not in the end game. So I think that at this point in time, Fastlock not going all in on getting to level 9 is definitely a misplay. Let's see how it pans out. Let's see if it costs him, if it backfires. No items left in the chest, which is great. Does find another Hog Rider in the shop. So this is up once again against Dapley. This luck has been horrendous for Fastlock. I think this might be it, unless Fastlock has amazing RNG right here. I think this game is about to be over, and he'll have to try and redeem himself in round 2. And that will be it for Fastlock. So we do have our first elimination. Dapley continues to remain undefeated, which is crazy. A loss takes a bit of damage there. Next on the bubble, Sergi also quite low on 18. Warrior next up on 23. So any sword dancers around just yet? Still yet to see a sword dancer, unless I'm missing one. That is a misfortune, I think it is. Oh, there's a Joey from Warrior and a Void Doom from Soul. I'm not sure if that was a new pickup or whether I just missed that earlier. So we do have a couple of legendaries in play, but funnily enough, still no sword dancers. Yeah, that was unfortunately a bit too quick for Fastlock. I think he really needed to go all in on the level there. Ended up being eliminated with that many crystals is always unfortunate. So Leviathan gets the mirror match, which is very fortunate. Playing against the mirror doesn't actually have any combos enabled, so it's almost a guaranteed win. So when there's an odd number of players, you definitely want to be playing against the mirror. So Soul up against Warrior. Let's actually look at Soul's board there. He did get the win by the looks of it, so he continues to remain up there on 25 health, although Sergi has just been eliminated, so we are down to our top 6 now. Alos and Warrior both on 15 health, so either one of those could be eliminated with a single bad round. How are they looking in terms of their combos?
I've been waiting for you.
Alos does have 6 warriors, but he doesn't have the key elite warriors that Dapley has. Dapley's got so many elite heroes, it is actually crazy. Soul does have a 2-star sword dancer. I think that's just come about this round or maybe last round. Warrior still struggling, 4 Punisher, 3 Assassin. So let's continue to watch Warrior's board now. How does he go against CeeLo? Can he continue to stay alive? A loss is matched up against Leviathan as well. And can Soul break Dapley's winning streak? It's going to be a resounding win there for Warrior. That puts CeeLo on 6 health. Let's check in on a loss now. Uh-oh, this is not looking good for a loss. He needs his 2-star Banger and 2-star Glutton to clutch it out, but it's not going to happen. Will it be enough, though? Can he take out one more hero before the Glutton goes down? That might be the difference between life and death. One more hero. Can he take it out? It doesn't happen. How much damage gets dealt? 12 damage. So a loss is barely hanging on with 3 health. Let's check in on a losses board now. Once again, there shouldn't be any issues getting through the creep round here. Let's have a look at his shop there. Only got 11 crystals, and he's only on level 8 as well. So he has had to go all in on spending. It might actually be worth selling that 2-star Glutton off. It's a tough call, but getting to level 9 here would be very, very key. I think he has to sell the bench here, to be honest. He will get crystals after creep round, though, so just depends on what happens here. But I think the first thing he needs to do after creeps is put all the crystals he can into leveling, and then trying to 2-star everything he can on the board, even if that requires selling some pieces on his bench. So it'll be very interesting. We'll get to see what his shop looks like. He grabs that Executioner. He does. We go ahead and see the points going into leveling there. He's 1 crystal short from completing the level, so he will have to sell something. What does he sell? He's just trying to figure that out now. There we go. So I'm not actually sure what that was. I missed the exact piece that vanished, but he does get to level 9. And my advice would be to start selling bench pieces to try and 2-star some of the things that are currently on the board. We will continue to watch a losses board here. Matched up against CeeLo, against a Rider build. Who is going to come out on top here? I just noticed that a loss is actually running 7 warriors, so definitely could have subbed one of the warriors out for another 2-star Glutton. That might have helped a little bit. It's going to be close, but it looks like the Riders have the advantage at this point in time. The Void Doom ability did a fair bit of damage. The Warriors are coming back pretty hard though, and it's just 2 heroes left. So I think a loss is going to clutch out this win, although only barely 3 heroes surviving, and actually in the process does eliminate CeeLo. So barely, by the skin of his teeth, a loss has hung on to at least 4th place. Impressive stuff. Ayush, no stress. Just make sure to read through the instructions. There's a couple of things you have to do to play, so it's all listed out there in the instructions. So jump onto the lobby and you can see it all. Just make sure next time you do read through the lobby so you're aware of exactly the process. I'd love to have you play in these tournaments, but you have to do the right thing to be able to participate. Okay, can a loss continue to clutch out the wins and make it higher than 4th place? Currently matched up against Leviathan. Still rocking the 7 warriors. It looks like it's going to be enough, to be honest. We can see the Wukongs on both sides spinning simultaneously as we see multiple General of War abilities go off as well. This is really interesting, but I think it's going to just be enough once again with a couple of heroes surviving. It won't be enough to eliminate anyone, but it does keep a loss alive. Now, in terms of lineups, let's have another quick look here. So Soul and Leviathan both level 10. Dapley and a loss level 9. 3 running 6 warriors and Soul running 3 elf, 4 Punisher, 4 warlock. But he's the only one with Sword Dancer. Does he have Sword Dancer stacked with items as is common? No, he doesn't. Interesting. I feel like that could be a misplay as well. Generally stacking her with items is the way to go. Now, a loss has now sorted out. Only 6 warriors out there on the board. Rocking 2 Oceanborn now, so Kraken is out there as an additional stun along with General of War. Matched up against Soul, so once again avoiding Dapley. Fastlock was unable to do that, and it did end up taking Fastlock out of the game quite early. I think this is going to be it for a loss though. Soul absolutely overwhelming him there, dealing 27 damage. Insane stuff, and it looks like Leviathan's about to take a chunk as well, and it's going to be more than enough to eliminate him. So we're down to the final 2. Soul and Dapley. Dapley has taken damage since we last checked in on him. He's no longer on 60 health, but he's still in a very commanding position. Warrior versus Punisher. Dapley does have the more expensive build. In fact, 5 2-star elites and a legendary out on the board, which is crazy, crazy stuff. And that does happen when you're running Warriors. Warriors are still very strong, and they're very good at stopping assassins at this point as well. So here we go. This probably won't be the final battle. I wouldn't think that Dapley could deal 20 plus damage to Soul in the one round, but we will find out very quickly. So green health bar is Soul, as we are viewing this from Soul's perspective. Definitely getting overrun. The elite warriors are way too much, but the 2-star sword dancer is going to help a ton. And in fact, it may just be enough to carry this. Ends up being a 1v1 against General of War, and Sword Dancer is definitely favored in that matchup. So Soul is going to win this. It's not going to be much damage it gets dealt, just the 5. But that is definitely the right way for Soul to be progressing towards winning this tournament. Needs to be dealing as much damage as he can and not taking any himself. Meow, welcome to the stream. This is the second tournament for me today, because it's still Saturday here in Australia for me. A loss. I really hate assassins no matter what. Yeah, I'm a little bit the same. I'm not a fan of them, but sometimes the shop just gives them to you and I just end up playing them anyway. Balalusu says this game is so good after the last update. Yes. The only thing that I'm not a fan of is the additional damage you now take, but that is being reworked by the devs as we speak. So, creep round. Soul makes light work of it. Dapley makes light work of it. We will continue to watch from Soul's perspective, as Soul is the one with the least health. So the one most in danger of being eliminated. As we'll just have a quick look at the overview there. Dapley's still at level 9, but does have a significant advantage in terms of economy. 55 crystals. He's going all in on leveling there. You could see that happening live in front of us. And already had a 2-star ready to go in as well. Doesn't have anything on the bench at this stage. Whereas Soul does have quite a bit on the bench, looking to get another 2-star sword dancer as well. Running 2 2-star sword dancers can be very, very strong. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And yes, the classic warrior and warlock. It's an oldie but a goodie. But it looks like it's going to be an absolute worst case scenario there for Soul, who gets blown up big time. 25 damage, that is more than enough to eliminate him. So Dapley does win round 1 of the tournament. 20 points straight up, which puts Dapley in a very, very good position to take 4 straight tournament wins, which is crazy. Madden Mobile Beast, welcome to the stream. So now we need to go through and work out the scores. So Dapley in first. Then we had Soul in second place. Leviathan in third place. I'm going to actually just go ahead and copy the names directly so I'm getting the spelling right. Then in fourth place we had a loss. I can spell that one. That's easy. I got all the characters on my keyboard. CeeLo in fifth place. Sixth place was Warrior, who never quite found the end game build he was going for, and that happens. You're gonna have games where that happens. I will copy this one again, as we have Sergi in seventh, and finally we had Fastlock, who probably had the worst luck of that game, to be honest. Kept matching up against the toughest opponents. So that is the score at the end of round 1. We will now jump into the second round, the classic game. So go ahead and create that classic room, and I'll send that invite off for those to join. And Totorello, welcome to the stream. So just sending the second room code off to those in the lobby. So we'll just get the second round set up, and then we'll be able to jump into the second half of this tournament, the classic game. We're getting our first few roll into the room. I'll jump into that observer seat. And a couple of those I can send an invite to. 1, 2, and 3. Get them in a little bit easier that way. So that is round 1. The turbo game has been completed. Very solid performance by Dapley there. Very impressive stuff, I must say. He's setting this up very well to be 4 straight tournament wins. And it's not like he's playing against bots. Like the people that he's playing against are very, very talented and also other tournament winners. Dapley and Alos and Warrior have both won tournaments. I can't speak to Leviathan, Fastlock, CeeLo, and Soul. I'm less familiar with. So we're just waiting on this stage. There we go. So we have the full squad. So we can go ahead and start that. And this time I will remember to get rid of the blurred ID there now that we're into the room. Chat has to remind me to do that. I forget to remove that all the time. So chat, definitely go ahead and remind me to do that when I do forget. Because it does, I think it sits over one of the UI elements that you kind of want to see. So now the same scoring applies for the classic game. So essentially everyone but Dapley wants Dapley to finish 8th. So he only earns himself 1 point, and that gives everybody else the best chance at taking out this tournament. And obviously Dapley wants to do as well as he can to ensure the victory at this stage. So we'll watch Dapley at this point as the tournament leader. We'll check in. Ooh, what a great first chop. In fact, the luck continues significantly for Dapley as he has himself a 2-star ice tusk in the first shop. That is amazing. Anyone else is running pairs? Soul has got himself a pair. He doesn't have the extra ice tusk in his shop. CeeLo also has a pair. Once again, doesn't have the 2-star in the shop. Fastlock. Does Fastlock have another ice tusk in the shop? He does not. It just looks like Dapley is the only one with the 2-star in the first shop. So incredible luck there from Dapley. Obviously you need a combination of luck and skill to take out the victory. And as we saw from the turbo game, Dapley definitely has that, but does it translate to a different pacing, different economy structure in the classic game where you have less income, less XP gained each round, so leveling is slower. So now looking to run a 2-star Ice Tusk, gets the Beast combo out there with Witch Doctor and Ever Bloom, I think that is as well, yes. So getting a couple of Druids out there as well. What are others running at this stage as we go into the second creep round? So there is another 2-star Ice Tusk from Fastlock, so maybe Fastlock's luck's turning around a little bit this game. As you see the items, a great sword there and nothing else. Checking on Fastlock, got a few more items, defensive armor, resistance cloak, and critical greatsword. For those in chat that have been playing the new Treasure Raider mode, what do you think of the items in that mode? And do you think that the Treasure Raider items should make their way to the ranked game modes? So classic and turbo. I haven't played a ton of Treasure Raider. I've only played a few games, but I'm a big fan of the items. They're really, really enjoyable. Some of them are definitely a bit broken on certain heroes, such as Sword Dancer. So if they were to make their way to ranked modes, some of the heroes would need to be addressed. But yeah, I think it would just add a lot more fun to the game, the way those items are set up. So here we go. Leviathan, I'll try that again, versus Dapley. Who comes out on top in the first PvP round this classic game? It looks like Leviathan coming in with a very strong early game. Going to win with 4 heroes up. So that's actually going to deal 7 damage in round 1, which is pretty significant. Let's check in. CeeLo lost there as well. We're still in this battle here, but I think Sergi's going to win this one. The Bangar's not going to be enough to deal with all those healing totems. Witch Doctor lands the killing blow, and Soul went down there as well. So 4 undefeated at this stage. So now we will check in on Warrior, who just 2-starred that Steel Fist. other 2 stars happening on the side there as well. Who else have we got up here? So a few early warriors, a few early cyborg engineers. Games Grinder asked, did you play Supercell games? I'm not actually sure what Supercell games are, so I'm guessing the answer to that is no. All right, here we go. So Warrior matched up against Leviathan, a battle of 2 undefeated players, and Leviathan did just make light work of Dapley's build. How does it match up against Warrior? It looks like Warrior has the early advantage here. Sorry, this is Soul, not Leviathan. I'm not sure why I thought that was Leviathan for a second there. So Warrior making light work of Soul there. Leviathan on this board losing to Fastlock. And Dapley is going to lose to Sergi here. Once again, healing totems will be the death of Dapley. So we still have 3 unbeaten players, or undefeated, I should say.
I smell magic.
Warrior, Fastlock, and Sergi all on 100 health. Lots going the Warriors early. There we go. Warriors got himself 3 assassins already, as well as having a couple of 2-star heroes out on the board. Finding lots of pieces. What's 1560 on your SATs? I'm not, because we don't have SATs here in Australia. I'm not actually sure what that scoring is, but should I be offering you commiserations or congratulations at that score? And don't worry, there's plenty of tournaments, 4 a week, so you can definitely make future tournaments. So don't beat yourself up about missing this one. Looks like Warrior's going to come through against the Wukong here. Another win there, so remains undefeated. Fastlock does as well, but we are down to 2 players now undefeated. Wouldn't it be fun if those 2 matched up against each other? Okay. If it's out of 1600 and you got 1560, that is incredible. So definitely congratulations to that incredible score. PMC Blizzard, come to check out your brother. Well, good luck to Leviathan. Unfortunately, he's had a little bit of early bad luck in some of the matchups. He beat up on Dapley early, but then has lost since. So hopefully he can turn that around for you, Blizzard. We're continuing to watch, we'll stay with Warrior at this stage, undefeated, and we'll also check in on Fastlock. Looks like, immediately it looks like Warrior's going to win this one as well. The early Cyborgs and Assassins are just very, very strong, so that is going to be a win. There's no way that comeback's happening. What about Fastlock? Once again, I think Fastlock, early Stalker Drone is quite good. 2-star Famine, so tons of damage coming out of Fastlock's build. He's only 1 Hunter away from having 3 Hunters up, which only increases the amount of damage there as well. So CeeLo down to 72, Leviathan on 72, and Dapley on 76. Everyone else is 80 or above. Okay, so everyone basically at this stage has a 3 combo up, aside from Leviathan. So Leviathan's just having a bit of luck finding all the pieces. And hey, I've had those games. I've been there. He's 1 rider short of 4 riders. Oh, there's the 4th rider. That was a clutch find just in time for the next round. So let's actually watch on Leviathan's board. Does the 4 riders help sustain? Although it's against Fastlock, it's going to be tough. 2 2-star heroes, it's probably not going to be enough, especially with the amount of damage coming out of the 2 heroes in the back line there, the Famine and the Stalker Drone. There goes the Destruction ult as well, and it is going to be another loss for Leviathan. Unfortunately, he will need to find some 2-stars to continue to get back on the winning side of the ballot. We've got Warrior on 100, Fastlock on 100. There we go. So they both continue their win streaks. Sometimes I miss which person I've actually clicked on. Because Warrior, for some reason, Warrior's got that blue bar behind him. So sometimes I think I'm watching Warrior's board when I'm not actually watching his board. That's how are those builds coming along. Sergi's actually gone to level 7 now. CeeLo, Alos, and Soul still on level 5. At this point, pretty much everyone should be at level 6. Alos definitely has the ability to do so in terms of currency, as does CeeLo. And that's going to be tough for CeeLo, actually. only level 5, matching up against the undefeated level 6 warrior. I think that's going to be a pretty short battle, and my gut feeling is absolutely correct there. So CeeLo takes another loss. They're down to 51 health now. Let's check in on Fastlock. Continues to remain undefeated, so definitely having much better luck this time around than the first game. PUBG's, yeah, it's a very popular mobile game all over the world, not just in India. I actually played PUBG for a long time, but now the Call of Duty Mobile beta is available in Australia. I've been playing that. 10-cent release is 3 months before you go to college. We got 3 months to cram in as much chest rush as possible. All right, so we'll continue to watch Warriors board. Got the 6 assassins up now. Hasn't found the key assassin just yet in Sword Dancer, though. That's the main piece. So it's going to be a warrior versus a loss. Assassins versus... What is the loss actually running at this stage? There are some assassins there, but it looks like warriors primarily. And the warrior is going to have enough assassins to beat the warriors. So warrior beats warriors. Yeah, lost 3 warriors, 2 furries, 1 punisher. How about Fastlock? Fastlock's win streak finally does come to an end just before the creep round 2, which is always unfortunate. So we just have Warrior now remaining undefeated. Now, given the positioning that Warrior finished, let me just have a look at the scores here. So Warrior would need Dapley to finish 6th, 7th, or 8th to win or tie for the win. So if Dapley finishes higher than 6th, 7th, or 8th and Warrior was to win, Dapley would beat Warrior out for the tournament result. So we'll keep an eye on... oh, Fastlock just cleaned out that shop. I missed what happened there, but I guess he wanted everything in that shop. Gets himself a tome and anything else from his other bear. The more items, the merrier. Does get himself a cloak as well. What about Warrior? What's he getting? A few items there as well. Armor, cloak, and tome. Let's continue to watch Warrior's shops. Level 7. Probably, this is probably just an econ round in that you just wait and try and get to level 8, then level 9 to try and max your chances of finding Sword Dancer in Warrior's case. 2-star Marsh Lord there from Dapley. So is everyone achieving their full builds? No 6 warriors. Dapley just found his 6 warrior, or may have had it the round before. But no one else necessarily has 6 warriors just yet. All right, so who is Warrior matched up against? It's going to be Dapley this time around. So 6 assassins versus 6 warriors. Although I think if all things are equal, the warriors probably have the advantage. But I think at this point in time, the assassins that Warrior has are just a little bit stronger. The build is just a little bit stronger, and that is going to be the case. 3 surviving heroes dealing 10 damage to Dapley there. Who is most on a bubble now? CeeLo is down to 35 health. Dapley on 42. So I tell you what, Dapley needs his luck to turn around quick smart. Otherwise, he could be in real trouble here and possibly losing the tournament. He needs to find a way to turn this around. Having 6 warriors will definitely help that. There is a ton of competition for warriors, though, which is the risk. Definitely the risk. So Warrior has gone ahead to level 8. Now the only player on level 8. Aggressively leveling to maintain that win streak, which is definitely the right play. I would be doing the exact same thing. Not that I'm as good of a player as Warrior is, but that would also be my strategy in this case. There's going to be another win against Soul here. The 6 assassins at this stage are just so strong. Also got Marsh Lord giving him Beast and Warlock as well. Who's his other Warlock? Marsh Lord and Voodoo Elder. Which I believe also gives him Goblin buff. It does. So the Head Reaper is getting an attack speed bonus. It's quite a nice composition at this stage. There is the 2-star Nightingale. That'll come into play when Sword Dancer is found, as that will be the 3rd elf. So he'll actually have 6 assassins, 3 owls, which means Sword Dancer has dodge as well, which is incredibly scary. So at this point in time, Warrior could definitely go on and streak all the way to the victory here. Now let's keep an eye on Dapley, who did lose the last round again, unfortunately. Down to 30 health. Desperately wants to avoid going out in last place. Matched up against Fastlock, who had a very strong early game build. How does it hold up through this mid game? It looks at this point that Dapley might have the advantage. How much damage is going to come out of those DPS units in the back? It's not going to be enough. The Stalker Drone's still only a 1-star. So it is going to be a win from Dapley here. He keeps his chances at winning the tournament alive by ending the losing streak there. Sustaining on 30 health. Let's check in on Leviathan here, who's gone down to 32 health with a big loss there, unfortunately. So CeeLo now also very much on the bubble with 30. And Sergi. So the bottom 4 are all down to 30s in terms of the health, which is a little bit scary. Don't want to be in that position at this point in time. Warrior is absolutely dominant this round. If he finds Sword Dancer, which he still hasn't done, that will be terrifying. So if I was his opponents, I would absolutely be buying up every copy of Sword Dancer I see in the shop. And most builds can also kind of find a utility spot for our Sword Dancer as well. Dapley is definitely losing hard this round so far as we watch CeeLo's board here. Oh, it's not looking good. Leviathan looks like he's going to overrun there. That was a clutch General of War stun though, and that may have actually turned this tide, and it has, big time. CeeLo coming through there. So Leviathan is going to take a chunk, now down to 17. How is Dapley doing? He survives. So it's definitely not over for Dapley at this point in time. The comeback is happening. Definitely hasn't found the elite heroes that he had last round. He's only got the one Berserker there. Still no Sword Dancers. This is around about the time in the game where everyone's going to start finding a ton of elites though. I just noticed that Warrior also has that legendary. So that is a little bit scary. He's got the Void Doom there. So he's got the Warlock combo now with the Marsh Lord and the Void Doom. He does lose the Goblin combo, but having Void Doom makes up for that because it's one of the best heroes in the game for the sheer amount of power that it outputs. It also outputs true damage, which ignores shields and armor. You can see that here. It deals true damage equal to a hero's HP over 10 seconds. So at level 1, it's dealing 5% over 10 seconds, which is essentially 50% of a hero's damage that ignores shields and armor, which is, magic resistance and armor. It doesn't ignore shields, that's my mistake, but it's incredibly powerful. The amount of damage that comes out of Void Doom, incredibly scary. So let's continue to check in on Leviathan here. Does have 6 riders up, 2 humans, Sergi with 4 beasts, 3 warrior, and Fastlock still hasn't found a, Fastlock. Oh, there's a 4 rider. Okay. 4 rider is going to be very helpful there. Can Leviathan clutch it out? Matches up against Sergi here. So this is the bottom 2 players matched up against each other. One of them is going to take a chunk of damage here. Neither wants it to be them. Who comes out on top in this matchup? You can see multiple unicorn abilities getting thrown around there, as there is a unicorn on both teams, I believe. And it's going to be Leviathan, I think, is going to come out on top. Deals 17 damage to Sergi, who, doesn't have unicorns. Why did I guess the one unicorn's ability hadn't ended before the second one fired out. So that may be why there were multiples bouncing around. Dapley, I think, just won again. So Dapley is now on. Oh no, he did just lose that one, but he didn't lose it by much. He's still on 23 health. So we're going to be watching now Sergi on 6 remaining health. Adjust the positioning, which I think is smart. Get all those tanky units on that front line to engage in battle as quick as possible. Needs to avoid Warrior big time. Needs to ideally match up with someone that's better suited to his combos. He's still looking for that 6 Warrior though. That's going to be costly not having found that 6 Warrior at this stage. Matched up against CeeLo, who comes out on top in this battle. You can see having that front line was much more effective for him in terms of engaging enemies as quickly as possible. It looks like Sergi might actually clutch this one out, although that Devourer is terrifying. And actually, I had that completely wrong. It ends up ending Sergi's run. So CeeLo taking Sergi out of the game there. Let's check in on Dapley and Leviathan here. I think Dapley's going to win this one. Leviathan's riders aren't going to be quite enough, although, what is that? That's a Templar Knight putting up a very big last stand, but it's not going to be enough, and it will be another 7 damage through the Leviathan, who is now the next player on the bubble with 10 health remaining. Warrior still undefeated. So let's take a look at Warrior's board, his bench. You will notice that there is still no Sword Dancer, which is very, very interesting. He has upgraded his Marsh Lord to a 2-star Misfortune, which is a significant upgrade, but still no Sword Dancer. All right, let's check back in on Leviathan here. Let's see if Leviathan can survive another round. He's actually got 6 riders, 4 humans now, so he's working towards a very nice build. One of my favorite builds to use in this game is actually 6 humans, 4 riders, 3 sorcerers. So it looks like this is going to be a favorable one. Matched up against Soul here, I'm thinking the riders are going to come out on top here. That Famine is not going to be enough to take out the surviving riders here, as Flamecaller comes through with a big ability there as well. And it will be a big chunk of damage through to Soul. It was the mirror image. That was actually a best case scenario for Leviathan there. Matched up against Soul's mirror image. The mirror images, of course, have no combo effects. So very hard to lose those. I just see a 2-star Berserker there from Dapley. That's going to be key in him surviving, as he is now down to 10 health. So we have 2 that are now on the bubble. Have to keep an eye on both of those as Warrior continues to go undefeated. This could be very, very, very critical here. Dapley must survive to at least the top 6. If Dapley gets eliminated in 7th and Warrior goes on to win, Dapley will... Oh, look at that! Dapley has the mirror match, so that will be a guaranteed win for Dapley. There's no way you can lose against the mirror match at this stage. So let's check in on Leviathan, who's matched up against Fastlock. It is going to be a quick loss, unfortunately, for Leviathan. And what that does is it guarantees, even if Dapley is next eliminated, he will be eliminated in 6th place. So at best, Warrior can tie for the win. But now, if Dapley finishes any higher than 6th, even if Warrior wins, it won't be enough to overtake Dapley. So Dapley is, by the skin of his teeth, barely doing enough just to make sure he stays on top in his tournament. Who, in terms of previous finishes, Soul has a very good chance as well, as does Leviathan. A Loss also finished in the top 4 last round, and Sealoss finished 5th. So it is very much up for grabs, but everybody but Dapley desperately wants Dapley to be next eliminated. So let's continue to check in on Dapley's board and see if he can clutch it out and be the thorn in the side of all the other competitors. Great work in surviving this long. Can Dapley make it 4 straight tournament wins? It would be very, very impressive if he could, as he finds a couple of Misfortunes and a Guru there. So he's immediately found himself a 2-star Misfortune. He does go ahead and do that. Swaps that out for the Marsh Lord. Marsh Lord into the well. So Dapley is only level 8, as is CeeLo and a Loss. Warrior, Fastlock, and Soul have all gone to level 9, as Leviathan there says, I hate Classic. And I'll tell you what, Leviathan, I'm not a fan of Classic either, but that is the challenge of this tournament format. You have to be decent at both Turbo and Classic to take out the win. It definitely stretches your skill level a little bit. And it's more suited to someone that's a bit of an all-rounder as opposed to someone that is a specialist. And it looks like this might... Oh no, it's turning. The tides are turning. I initially thought that might be it for Dapley, but he's once again surviving, and he's going to be dealing a chunk through to CeeLo now. It won't be enough to eliminate him. What about Soul here? Soul lost there as well. So now Dapley is all of a sudden sitting in 4th position. How did that happen? Great survival instincts by Dapley here, absolutely making it happen. He knew that he was in danger, so instead of leveling to 9, he spent all his crystals on maximizing the heroes he had out on the board, and he's absolutely done what he needed to remain alive at this stage of the game. So we will actually watch Soul's board now. He does have that 3-star Glutton, I believe it was. Will that be enough? There's a lot of 1-star heroes on the board, and he is matched up against Warrior, who remains undefeated at round 22, which is a very, very impressive performance. There is a lot of red health bars on the board, and that 3-star glutton ain't going to survive too long against all those critical hits from those warriors. That will be it, and I see a 2-star sword dancer there as well. So while we've been tracking the progress of Dapley, who has been eliminated but actually survived longer than Sol. So Dapley made it all the way to 4th place. Very, very impressive stuff from Dapley, and that might have just been enough to actually win the tournament right there. So while we were tracking all that, Warrior found himself a 2-star sword dancer. Looking at the matchup at this point in time, I definitely think Warrior is favoured. If a loss can flesh out that Warrior build a little bit more, he will be a bit more of a threat. I'm not sure that the 4 riders, 3 hunters of Fastlock is going to be enough of a threat against these assassins, and we get to see the matchup right here. So who is favoured in this specific matchup? Well, I'll tell you what, those hunters are putting up a very good fight. Can Sword Dancer remain alive? Actually, he's not even Sword Dancer. Sorry, I had my boards mixed up. That was Warrior absolutely destroying Fastlock. I had that completely the wrong way around. Fastlock surviving on 1 health as a loss had the mirror match last time around. So Fastlock desperately wants the mirror match this time around, as 1 more loss and it will be elimination for Fastlock. You leveled up by misclick. That is unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. So we're just keeping an eye on Fastlock here. Now 4 riders, 5 hunters. Still 1 hunter shy of the 6 hunter combo. He does have the mirror matchup though, so he's basically guaranteed to stay alive, as facing a build with no combos actually taking effect is very easy to beat at this stage of the game. It is going to be Warrior fighting to stay undefeated at this point in time, which Sword Dancer will make sure happens. It's just going to be too hard even for a Berserker to beat Sword Dancer at this stage in the game. Doesn't have too many items on her just yet, but it's not really that much of an issue. Warrior is now 25 rounds without a loss. Look at how much damage Warrior has dealt. Crazy stuff from those assassins. Can a loss or Fastlock find the pieces required to bring down the almighty Warrior with his 6 assassin combo? So you'll notice that Warrior now, with that Nightingale out on the board, is running 6 assassins, 3 elves, 2 warlock, 2 undead. That is basically the ideal endgame build for assassins. If you get to level 10, you can throw in another utility piece. And I tell you what, getting to level 10 and putting in another 2-star Sword Dancer is incredibly strong, and almost always the right play. Okay, now we will check in again on Fastlock's board. Has he found the 6th hunter? Let's have a look at the shop. Nothing in that one. There is a Fire Fur. Does he already have Fire Fur? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Sorry. He's looking for Kraken or Shakaraka. And unfortunately, he's out of crystals, and that might be out of luck, out of time, to be totally honest. Unless he somehow gets the mirror match again, this will most likely be the final round for Fastlock. Who does he match up against? It is going to be a loss, and it's not the mirror match. Warrior gets the mirror match this time. The mirror image, I should say, mirror match actually means something a little bit differently. It means you're matching up against someone playing the same build as you. So I should make sure to use the correct, maybe ghost match. I might stick with ghost match. So this is an absolute overrunning of warriors here. The Berserker coming in too clutch there, and that will be it for Fastlock. Definitely turning around his luck from game 1 though, where he just had no luck and managed to climb all the way up to 3rd place. So well done, Fastlock, on that top 3 finish in round 2. We're now down to the final 1v1, the final head-to-head. 6 warriors versus 6 assassins, and ironically, it's a loss running the warriors and Warrior running the assassins. In terms of value, Warrior still has the advantage. 2-star Joey is quite strong. He's got Misfortune and Void Dooms as his Warlocks, which is also very, very strong. 3-star Bionic Ninja, which deals extra damage to lower rated heroes, to 2-star and 1-star heroes. So that is also quite key. And of course, the 2-star Sword Dancer. So I think I tell you what, it's very close. As I said, the Warriors are the best matchup for Assassins, and in fact, now that they've taken care of Sword Dancer, a loss has come through and given Warrior his first defeat. So Warrior took 19 damage right there. So 4 or 5 more rounds like that, and a loss could actually come from behind and win this one. Warrior continues to find other legendaries. A loss, a little bit more in on the economy. Still hasn't got to level 10, but it's not actually that much of an issue at this point in time. Can Warrior 2-star that other Sword Dancer? What is his 10th unit at this stage? He's running any duplicates out there that chat can see. Was it 2 Liliths? Was he running 2 Liliths? Maybe, I'm not sure. So we're watching Warriors board again. Once again, there is a sea of red health bars, but it does look like the Assassins are surviving a little bit better this round. And yes, a big turnaround. So a loss is now down to 35, and this is a risk for a loss. Warrior just has so much more health to use, so he has so much more time. It doesn't matter if he wins a couple of tournaments, he still has a fair bit of health there to play with. Ayush, the next tournament, my time, will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. That's Australian time, plus 10 GMT. The time details are in my Discord in the announcements channel. I know you're in there, so if you'd like to see the regular schedule, you can go and do that in the announcements channel on my Discord. I will actually drop that Discord command in chat for those that aren't in the Discord and would like to be, to know when the next tournaments are happening. So we're watching Warriors board again. Once again, it's probably going to be an Assassin overrun just based on the initial number of green health bars. We do see the General of War stun there, but at this point in time, if the health bars are even, generally it's going to advantage the Assassin player with the Sword Dancer, as she's just so hard to beat unless you have a significant outnumbering of heroes there. So we're on to round 30 now. Warrior has gone 29 rounds, or 29 wins, I should say, 1 loss through the 30 rounds. It's definitely going to be tough for a loss from here, but it's not out of the question. If let's have a look at the builds. If a loss just gets a little bit lucky, what has a loss got happening on the bench? Looking to try and 2-star that Kraken, but Kraken's not actually... All right, 2-star Kraken would definitely be better than Shakaraka, so... He's also looking to 2-star the Void Doom, I think, at this stage as well. I don't think that he has a 2-star Void Doom. I think it's just a 1-star, but we will wait until this round is over just to confirm that. Yeah, it is a 1-star Void Doom, so we will continue to watch this from a losses board. Where is the Void Doom? Hiding in front of the Ice Tusk? Oh, the other Warlock is the Voodoo Elder. He sold off the Void Doom. Interesting. I guess just because the Voodoo Elder is a 2-star. I wonder if the Void Doom might have been better than a 2-star Voodoo Elder at this stage, though. It is tough to know. Very tough to know. So a loss, not finding the third Kraken in his shop. Desperately needs to do that to put that 2-star Kraken on the board. Needs to survive this round, really, to remain in this. And there is a ton of damage coming through from that Joey. Once again, I don't think it's going to be enough. There are quite a few green health bars still up, but not enough to deal with that Sword Dancer, and that's the main issue here, and that's going to be the Ice Tusk down, another 11 damage. So unless a loss can do something drastic to change this up, this may just be the very final round here. Let's watch in on a loss's shop here. He does get that Kraken in. He goes to level 10 here. So he has been leveling along the way, putting crystals into leveling. Unfortunately, doesn't find another 2-star though, which is going to be critical. So this very well could be the final round. Does adjust the positioning significantly so, which is fair enough. Against Assassins, positioning is very hit and miss, as the initial invisibility of Assassins can just be really, really tough. So we are watching a losses board. We want green health bars to stay up for a loss to survive. But it might not happen. It's just not enough green up with that 3-star Sword Dancer. Now, she has been silenced. The Executioner has silenced her, and I believe was actually hitting the Bionic Ninja, because the Bionic Ninja was a 3-star. But now that the Sword Dancer has been 3-starred, the Executioner now hits Sword Dancer. So I think that if you're playing against an executioner, you actually want to avoid 3-star. You don't want to have Sword Dance as your highest value unit because the executioner then will target her. So that may have been a slight misplay from Warrior, but I'm not sure it's going to cost him the game. I think he's just too strong at this point in time. But that will definitely be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to debriefing that with him after the game, as he may not have realized that the executioner was targeting the Bionic Ninja until that Sword Dancer got 3-starred. And you can see it again there. Sword Dancer silenced, her ability not able to go off now, which obviously dampens or affects her chance of staying alive, but it doesn't matter when you're winning by that much. So that is the final round. Warrior takes it out over a loss there to take the first place in the second round of the tournament, the Classic, the final round. So we have our final placings, and I'll go through and do those scorings now. So Warrior in first place gets himself another 20 points. So 23 takes Warrior all the way up for now. If I can grab this, there we go. All the way up to first. Then in second place, a loss with another 14 points, puts a loss on 21. And that may be enough to go to second. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Third, sorry. Fast Lock finishing with 10 points in third place there. So that's now 11 points. So Fast Lock now, for the time being, moving up a little bit in position as well. Then we have Dapley, who clutched out 7 points by finishing fourth. So that will be enough for Dapley to go all the way up into first place. And then we have Soul with 5. It takes Soul up to 19. CeeLo with 3. Takes him up to 8. And Leviathan with 2. And finally, Sergi with 1 point there as well. So let me just make sure that I've got that order right. We have Dapley on 27, Warrior on 23, and a loss on 21 in first, second, and third places. So firstly, congratulations to Dapley on 4 straight tournament wins. Very impressive stuff. And then wrapping up the rest of the top 8, Soul, Leviathan, Fastlock, CeeLo, and Sergi there as well. Although for some reason that didn't update. There we go. Got that update sorted. So very, very fun stuff. Congratulations to everyone that participated. So here we go. From Warrior in chat, I thought about not 3-starring Dancer, but was a rare game where so far ahead with Assassins that double her HP damage was a little stronger than shield spam. And that's a very good point and something that I didn't touch on. She does lose her shield, but she does double her HP and double her attack power. So that is very, very significant. So awesome stuff there. Ayush, you certainly can. You can join Fried Sweet Teas tournaments. They're unrelated. They're also done through the BlueStacks Discord. So once again, look for any other Chess Rush channels in the BlueStacks Discord. So congratulations to the top 3. I will now reach out via DM on Discord to sort out your prizes. And to everyone else that participated, thank you so much. To those watching that would like to participate in the future, details will be on my Discord. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. And until next time, I'll see you all later.